Next on the show is headlines across Africa. Stay tuned for that.
Headlines across Africa.
Headlines across Africa.
Headlines across Africa.
Headlines across Africa.
So today we're going to Mauritania, South Sudan, and Western Sahara.
All right.
So starting from Mauritania, we'll actually be reading from not Western Sahara, but they have something from Mauritius. So
Okay, let's hear it.
we're reading from the Sahara Press Service in Western Sahara, and the headline says, Mauritius congratulates Sahrawi people for 45th anniversary of SADR and reiterates support to Sahrawi just struggle for freedom.
Okay.
Well, the leader of the Mauritius militant movement and former Prime Minister of Mauritius, Mr. Paul Berenga, congratulated the Sahrawi government and people for the 45th anniversary of the Sahrawi Republic, widely celebrated last 27th February, stressing the steadfast support to the just struggle of Sahrawi people for freedom and independence. Now, in a letter he addressed to the Sahrawi leadership on the occasion, the leader of the saluted the commitment and stoicism of the valiant Sahrawi people throughout their struggle, affirming that his party remains fully supportive of their quest for a rightful, independent place in the concert of nations.
Okay.
The he recalled, has always stood up for its principles and values, including the emancipation of all oppressed peoples
Right.
and liberation of all illegally occupied territories around the globe.
Right.
Now, it is for this reason he adds that his party recognized the Polisario Front right off from the onset and other such liberation organizations, including the ANC and SWAPO, among others.
Okay.
He further recalled that upon assuming power in 1982, we officially recognized the SADR. We have always maintained that official status and ensured that it's upheld even while in opposition.
Right.
Well, that's a story coming from the Sahara Press Service in Western Sahara. I mean, we know what's happening with them. The fact that they want to be an independent state,
Yeah.
and it's actually bringing issues.
Issues with Morocco.
Yeah.
Well, we pray that gets sorted out as soon as possible.
We really hope it does, because it really, really, really needs to get
Yeah.
sorted out.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, moving on to South Sudan, we're reading from the Sudan Tribune, and the headline says Sudan's Land Commission will use traditional methods in Darfur. Official.
Okay.
A member of the Sovereign Council, Hadi Idris, said that the Land and Hawaki Commission, which will be established soon, will use traditional conflict resolution methods and customs to settle the conditions of settlers and ensure the return of the displaced to their areas. One of the main demands of the victims of the war in Darfur is land ownership. The Juba Peace Agreement of 3rd October 2020 dealt also with the settlement of newcomers in the areas deserted by the displaced and refugees who fled during the Okay, I'll take my time here. During the counter-insurgency campaign by the government militant men since 2003. Some fear that the expulsion of the settlers would lead to the outbreak of new conflicts in the region, which suffers from social and security fragility. The Land and Hawaki Commission to be formed will work to address the land problems. This was said by Hadim, who is also the leader of the Sudan Liberation Movement Transitional Council, in a speech to his supporters in Melit area of North Darfur State on Sunday. He pointed out that the resolution of land ownership disputes will be through the support of the native administration and the use of customs and traditions as basic references for dealing with land disputes. The peace agreement, in addition, speaks about the use of traditional justice in the resolution of tribal disputes when they do not fall under the jurisdiction of the Special Court for Darfur. Well, that's a story coming from the Sudan Tribune in South Sudan. I mean, not really. Land disputes are not really pleasant things. I mean, I've literally seen how it is, what land guards do here.
Yeah,
in our base
in our
government.
base,
That
right?
It scares me a lot. So
Yeah.
anything that has to do with land, I'm sure we
Mm-hmm.
really have to be careful. I believe the state has to step in and ensure that
Yeah.
the appropriate authorities are working and ensuring
And
that
what
they settle the people
bothers
that are being
me is some of
displaced.
these people engaged in this are all acting based on someone somewhere's orders,
Yeah,
not legally mandated,
yeah.
you know? No, but not good at all. Okay.
Okay, so moving on, we're looking at Mauritania, where we're reading from the Lake Kalame newspaper, and the headline says Roadmap for an Inclusive National Concert. Mauritania is moving towards an inclusive national consultation (CNI), according to announcements made on Wednesday evening. This dialogue will involve all forces from the majority and opposition under the leadership of the President of the Republic, Mohamed Sheikh El Ghazouani. It aims to achieve a national consensus around the fundamental issues facing the country, carry out reforms for a true rule of law, leading to the normalization of political life. Now, the themes in the program are the democratic process, national unity, including the resolution of outstanding human rights, the issues of slavery and its aftermath, ways and means to strengthen social cohesion, good governance, the fight against gabegie, a series of reforms including justice administration, decentralization, rural land, education and health, public media, and the creation of mechanisms to preserve the environment, strengthening the fight against climate change. There's a lot of things to focus on, but it's great. I mean, inclusive national consultation. I'm happy
Right.
the president is leading this, and once you have a national consensus of very fundamental issues,
Yeah.
it paves way for development to easily follow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
peace is key.
Mm-hmm. And the citizens, get to understand how important it is, even if they don't understand why, but they get to the point, okay, this is more of like the center of conversations. It's one of those conversations that is more of like a national one that is being held most of the time. So let's also support, that particular cause. Okay.
Yeah, that's all we have for headlines across Africa.
Right. The show was Africa Daily on Africa Global Radio.